Alright, so I recruited a couple fellow Marauders to play the game. This will be a 3-player game, and the first thing you do is figure out who goes first, and you each roll one of the dice that has the jewels on it. I rolled a gold, and the values high to low follow this order. So diamond is the highest value, followed by ruby, emerald, and so on. Okay, and I rolled a gold, Jordan and Nicole rolled silver, so I rolled the higher value and I'll go first. Every player's turn has 3 parts. First, you roll the dice, and early on in the game, the dice won't do as much as they will later. Primarily, the dice release jewels from the treasure chest, but since none are open yet, that won't really happen. But there are a few other rolls that do produce things, and if we get one, I'll show you. So, first part is you roll the dice. The second part is you move a scout 3 spaces on the board, and you can enter your scouts through any one of these black squares. There are 8 of them around the edge of the island. So, for example, I can start here and go 1, 2, 3. And early on, you're primarily trying to get your scouts to open the treasure chests. And you do that by positioning scouts on one of the 4 keyholes that surround all the different chests on the board. And when you get your scout on a keyhole, the player can pick up the chest and look underneath. I'll show you what I can see. And each chest has a specific color key card. And if you have the matching key card, which are these blue cards, and each player starts the game with 3 key cards, and I have the matching yellow key card, you can discard the key card, turn the chest over, which means that you've opened it, and you place one of your guards on top. Now, if that chest gets rolled on the dice, I will collect those jewels. The third part of your turn is to use any other cards that you may have that you want to. In this case, I'm going to hold on to them. So, first part of your turn is to roll the dice. In this case, we have a gold with a yellow key, which matches this chest. This chest has a gold piece with a yellow key. And in that case, players collect 2 of the corresponding jewels. So I collect 2 golds for that chest since I'm the one that guards it. The other dice has a diamond yellow key, which is not yet open. Second part is you move a scout 3 spaces, which Jordan did. He's allowed to look at the treasure chest. And if he has the key, which he does, he can turn the chest over and place one of his guards on top. And then the last part of his turn is he can use any other cards in his hand that he wants to. Okay, so this is emerald with a red key, which that chest is not yet open, and there's also a gold with the same red key, which is not yet open. So roll the dice. This has a gold with a red key, which is not open, and a diamond with a red key, also not open. So roll the dice. Second part of your move is to move a scout 3 spaces. And each player has 2 scouts, and you can split the moves up between your scouts. So for example, I can move this scout 1 space and another scout a couple of spaces. And I am going to go 1, 2, 3. And then I can use any cards that I have in my hand, which I am going to hold off on. Okay, so this has a ruby red key. There is that chest is not open yet. The other dice has a Marauder symbol on it, and that just means it's a dead die. So nothing happens with that particular dice. Okay, Jordan's played a brown master key. This is the wood key, which opens any chest on the island. And he's used it to open the wild chest. So there's one chest on the board that has all of the jewels in it with all of the keys. And when double jewels are rolled on the dice, that has the opportunity to produce any of the jewels in the game. And when that gets rolled, I'll show you what that does. This is emerald red key, not open, and silver red key, also not open. Although Nicole just opened, it looks like, the silver red key chest. But she's already rolled the dice, so she won't collect on this turn. But if that gets rolled again, she will collect silvers. And the jewels, right, so you're collecting jewels from these treasure chests, and the jewels are what you're going to turn in to unlock the 6 clues. So it takes 3 of each jewel to unlock each clue. So if I can collect 3 golds, I can trade the 3 golds in and unlock that clue. So roll the dice. Neither of these chests are open. Then I can move a scout 3 spaces. I'm going to move 1. You can split these up. I have a yellow key. I only moved 1 space, so I can now move my remaining 2 spaces. And if you own a treasure chest, you can move your scout across the keyhole. So I can go 2, 3. So you can move your scout between any of the keyholes around a chest that you own. early on here, the objective is opening as many treasure chests as you can with these scouts and collecting as many jewels as you can, because you're going to use the jewels to unlock these clues. Okay, and in this case, Nicole rolled double Marauders, and we've been playing this where that means that she loses a turn. So rolling double Marauders is not something you want to do. Okay, so this is diamond red key, which is not yet open, and emerald red key, which is also not yet open. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. Okay, now this particular color key I don't have, but you can trade cards with any players during the game if it's your turn. Does anybody have a yellow key? Anybody would like to give me a yellow key? I'm giving up a red key or a gold. No?
Sorry.
So this is ruby blue key, which is not open, and emerald blue key, also not yet open. And this is emerald yellow key, which is this chest, which is blue player, that's me, so I collect 2 jewels. Then you collect 2 jewels every time the chest is rolled, and the other dice was a marauder symbol, which again is a dead roll.
I would like to give you a yellow key for your red key.
This is ruby red and silver red, and silver red's this chest here, which is Nicole, so she collects 2 silvers. Okay, and I am going to discard my yellow key so I can open this. And I still have 3 spaces. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. This is diamond yellow key, which is not open, and silver yellow key, also not yet open.
Does anyone have a red key?
No.
I do not.
Okay. I'm going to play a cannon.
Okay, so this is a green resource card. Every player starts the game with 2 resource cards, and you will be able to collect more of these. The cannon will allow Jordan to turn over any chest that's already open on the board. So essentially it's like blowing up somebody's chest. So if you blew this up, it goes back, turned over, and now I have to come back over to reopen that, or any other player can open it. Okay, so roll the dice. This is gold blue key, which is not open, and emerald blue key, also not yet open. This is gold red key and diamond red key, and neither of those chests are open yet. Okay, now I am going to play a spyglass. Okay, this is also one of the green cards, and this spyglass allows you to open any clue that you want, and I'm going to use it to open this first clue. What you do when you unlock a clue is you place your marker next to it. Of course, you can pick up the clue and look at it, and I won't show the other players, but I'll show all of you what I'm seeing. And remember, these clues narrow down where on the board the artifact is buried, under which of these X's. So I've unlocked my first clue. I have not yet moved 3 spaces. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I don't have that color key, so I'm going to hold off and pass the dice. Okay, this is silver yellow key and the marauder symbol.
I will take a key, please.
Okay, so those Jordan selected another key. So on your turn, rather than moving one of your scouts or both of your scouts 3 spaces, instead of moving a scout, you can collect a new key card, and that's the primary way for collecting new keys. Okay, and he must have drawn this key, which was the red key, which he's now using to open this chest. And remember, your scout has to be placed on one of these 4 keyholes to be able to open any treasure chest.
I will take the tree.
Okay? And you'll also notice that Jordan opened this first clue. So I mentioned that each of these 5 clues, you collect 3 of the corresponding jewels to open these clues. This first one's the only one that's different. This first clue to open it, unless you have a spyglass like I have, the other way to open it is you open 3 treasure chests in the same terrain. So these are the mountains, and Jordan's opened 1, 2, 3 chests in the mountains. I could open up 1, 2, 3 chests in the forest, or yellow player could open 1, 2, 3 chests in the grassland. That's how you unlock this first clue. Okay, emerald red is this chest down here, which is the yellow player. So she'll collect 2 emeralds. You'll notice that Jordan's looking at this clue, even though it's not his turn. And so once you've marked a clue, you can look at that clue as many times as you want at any point during the game. And once you look at the clue, you always place it back face down. Okay, this is gold with the yellow key, which is the blue player. And ruby with the yellow key, which is this chest, which is also the blue player. Okay, and I have 3 golds, so I'm going to trade in 3 golds and buy the gold clue. Which again, I can pick it up and look at it. And then I'm going to put a card in my stash. So during the game, you need to collect a series of 8 cards. You need to collect 1 of each of these jewels and 3 key cards, a red key, a blue key, and a yellow key. And you collect those 8 cards, you put them in your stash, and you cannot win the game until the stash of 8 cards is completely full. Once a card's in the stash, it's safe. So you'll see during the game there are opportunities to steal each other's cards. Once a card's put in the stash, it's safe, but it also cannot be used until the very end of the game. And the last thing about your stash is you do not have to show other players your stash. You can conceal it. So I typically keep it, as most players do, off the board. But you do have to inform other players when you're stashing a card. And you can only stash cards on your turn. Okay, this is silver blue, which is this chest, Jordan, and ruby blue, which is not yet open.
I'm stashing.
So Jordan stashed one of the 3 keys that he'll need by the end of the game. As a reminder, you always roll the dice first. Nicole rolled double Marauders again, which has to be frustrating, which means that she loses her turn. Okay? So now I've rolled double rubies. Okay, this is rubies with the blue key, which that chest is not yet open. If it was open, that player would collect 3 rubies. But as I mentioned, the double jewels also impact the wild chest, which Jordan owns. So anytime double jewels are rolled, the player who owns the wild chest collects 3 of whatever jewel was rolled. So Jordan will collect 3 rubies, and obviously 3 rubies can be traded in for a clue. So that's a pretty valuable roll for him. The other thing that a double roll does is anytime double jewels are rolled, every player in the game collects another resource card. So this is the primary way for new resource cards to get in the game. And the person who rolled the dice collects first, and then it goes around the board. Let's see, I am going to get a key card. Does anyone have a yellow key?
No.
Okay. I am going to stash 2 cards. And I'm going to pass the dice. Okay, this is ruby blue, not yet opened, and the other roll was the marauder symbol.
Going to trade 3 rubies for the ruby clue.
Okay, so Jordan turned in 3 rubies, which allows him to unlock this clue. So remember, you always place your marker near the clue. And once you placed it there, you can open and look at that clue anytime you wish, always replacing the clues back face down. Okay, this is silver red key, which is the yellow player. So Nicole collects 2 silvers, and then a diamond red key, which is not open. Okay, Nicole now has 1, 2, 3 open chests in the grasslands, which means that's how you unlock the first clue. This called the terrain clue.
Okay, so
Which means she'll be able to put her marker near the clue. She can look at the clue. And you'll notice that even though we all three have this clue unlocked, it always remains face down. The clues are never turned face up until the very end of the
like to
game.
buy the silver clue.
Okay, and she has 3 silvers, which she's trading in for the silver clue.
Pass that to me, please. Okay. I will stash. And then I would like to use my spyglass for the diamond clue.
Okay, so you see how fast people can open clues. Nicole opened 3 clues on that turn. We always roll the dice first, and all the players collect. So this is ruby red key, which is red player, and silver red key, which is yellow player. And then you can move a scout 3 spaces or get a key. In this case, I'm going to select another key. And I'm trying to select I've got a scout here on this chest, and I'm trying to get the key that will allow me to open this particular chest, which I did not draw on that turn. And then the last part of your turn, of course, is you can play any cards that you have. And I'm going to continue to hold on to my cards. Okay, silver blue key is Jordan, silvers. And the ruby blue key chest is still not open.
Going to stash 2 cards. Does anyone have a red key?
I do.
I will trade you a red key for a ruby.
You'll give me a ruby?
A ruby, yes.
Do you have 2 rubies?
I don't.
A ruby and another jewel, or another card.
I cannot.
Okay, then no deal.
Okay.
Give me 2 cards and I'll give you that key.
Okay. Okay. 3 silvers for the silver clue. And I will take a key. Because I don't need it. How about a yellow key?
You will give me a yellow key
Yes.
for a red key.
For a red key.
Done.
Okay, we'll use that. Nice. And I would like to play a sword.
Oh dear. So before he plays this, so sword is another one of these resource cards, and the sword allows you to steal all of another player's key cards, the blue cards, all of their green cards, the resource cards, or all of their jewel cards, the orange cards.
I would like
Who's it going to be, George?
Dave.
Nice.
I would like your green cards, please.
Okay, so Jordan has stolen my 2 green cards. Okay, this is ruby red key, which is Jordan, and diamond red key, which is also Jordan. He just opened that one on his last turn.
Take a key. Stash. Does anybody have... Oh, never mind. I guess you probably wouldn't. Okay. I'm going to cannon the ruby red.
Nice. Okay, this is gold red. ruby red, which the colt just blew up, so that prevents Jordan from collecting. Nice move. Okay, I am going to play my yellow key. Open the diamonds. I'm going to, instead of moving a scout, I'm going to collect another key. Okay. And then I could use any cards that I have, which I'm not going to do. And now there's one more option for opening clues. So opening clues, obviously you can trade in 3 jewels for that clue. You can also use a spyglass resource card, which we've seen. The third and final way to open a clue is by trading clues with other players. And this is the really fun part of the Marauders game. It's also the really risky part. So let me give you an example. I have the gold clue, which neither of the other players have. I'm the only one that has the gold clue. At the same time, the other players have the diamond clue, the ruby clue, or the silver clue, which I don't have. So I can trade my clue for one of those clues, and doing that's going to require us to use the Marauders cards. But first let me propose a trade with someone. So I'm looking at my treasure chest and seeing, for example, that I don't have any silvers open. So silver clue is probably going to be a difficult clue for me to get at this point in the game. So I might, and both other players have it, so I can pick a player. In this case, I will pick Jordan. So I'm going to make an offer to Jordan, which is, Jordan, I will give you the gold clue if you give me the silver clue. Okay, so I'm offering to trade these two. What will happen is, Jordan and I, whenever you are trading clues, whenever a clue is involved in a trade, you have to use these Marauders cards. And each player has these 2 cards. One's a handshake and one's a Marauder symbol. And what will happen is I will pick one of my cards and lay it face down. Jordan will pick one of his cards and play it face down. And if we both turn them face up and we both played a handshake, that means we made the deal. So I get to look at the silver clue and place one of my markers here, and he'll get the gold clue and be able to place one of his markers there. If, however, I play a handshake and Jordan were to play the Marauder symbol, he's backstabbed me. And in that case, he's going to get the gold clue, and I'm not going to get the silver clue. So essentially, he will have stolen the gold clue from me. If we both play the Marauder symbol, then we both backstabbed each other, and neither of us get the clue in the trade. And of course, we'll remember that going forward in the game in future trades. So it's up to the other player if they want to participate in the trade. So Jordan, I'm asking, I'd like to propose the trade, the gold clue for the silver clue. And I'll remind you, it's early in the game, so friendliness is important.
Yes, remind me.
And remember, you have to pick your card and play it face down. You cannot show the other player what you played until both cards are in face down, and then you flip them up.
I will go in with the proposal.
Okay? And Jordan, it's early in the game. There's no sense.
The promises come out.
Remember that we need to have future deals, so let's be kind to each other.
Okay.
I'm in. Jordan, it's early.
It is early, Dave.
Jordan?
Let's find out. Oh,
Okay.
Dave?
So we turn these over at the same time.
Wait.
Okay, I'm in. We're in.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay.
All right.
So we shook hands. Okay, which means the deal goes forward. So I get the silver clue, and I can put my marker here, and I can look at the clue. And then Jordan gets the other clue. Nice, Jordan. Pleasure doing business with you, and I will pass the dice. Okay, so this is gold, red, which is not yet open, but it's double golds, which is the wild chest. So Jordan will collect 3 golds, since he owns the wild chest. And because it's doubles, every player also collects a new resource card. Remember, starting with the player who rolled it, and then moving around the board. And so at this point, just so you know what people are thinking, right? We're still trying to unlock our remaining clues and narrow down which X holds the artifact. And I'll remind you that you only need actually 4 clues. There are 2 dead-end clues. And if you get lucky and can open the right 4 clues off the bat, you really only need to unlock 4 of these clues. At the same time, you need to collect these 8 cards in your stash. So it's unlocking clues and collecting cards and putting them away in your stash is what people are focusing on right now.
Stashing.
Okay, and Jordan, you can't see it off camera, but he's got his stash in his pocket. So he keeps sliding cards into his pocket. And you have to remember, you can only stash on your turn, and you do have to announce to the other players that you are putting a card in your stash. And so we're listening for frequency, right? We want to know how many times Jordan has said stash, so we know how close he is to having the 8 cards that he needs to win the game.
3 rubies for a diamond.
Okay, the other thing you can do in this game is at some point you'll start collecting jewels you don't need. You can trade 3 of any card in for another card. So Jordan traded in 3 rubies for a diamond. You could trade in 3 rubies and pick a new key card. You could trade in 3 rubies and pick a new resource card. But 3 of any card in for another card.
3 diamonds for the diamond clue. And
while he's finishing his turn, I'm going to
I'm
show all of you again, once again, the clues that we have, the blue team.
cannon.
Remember, we're using these to narrow down where on the board the artifact is buried. So you'll find these, you try and find these same symbols on the island. And Jordan played a cannon, and he's taken away one of the yellow player's chests.
And I am going to take a key for my 3 space. And I'm going to stash.
Okay, this is diamond blue, which is not open, and gold blue, also not open.
I'll take a key. I'm going to play a horse.
And the other thing players are doing now is some players may know generally now where on the island the X the artifact is buried. And so now you're also trying to position your scouts, because as you know, you only have 3 moves each turn, 3 spaces each turn. And so we're trying to get our scouts positioned so that once we have our 8 cards in our stash and know where the X is for sure, we can get there quickly. Nicole played a horse, which is one of these resource cards. That allows you to move your scouts 10 extra spaces on your turn. So you may have noticed she's been moving her players quite a bit
I'd
on
like
this
your
turn.
gold, please.
And she just played a sword and stole all of Jordan's gold.
You should have 3 golds, unless you stashed one.
Those are all the golds I have.
There's a stash. Remember, the sword allows you to take all of his jewels, or
Oh.
all of his keys, or all
Well,
of
then I
his...
need all your jewels. I
That
thought it
was
was
all of
only
them.
one.
Okay, that was all of his jewels.
All right. I'm going to stash.
Okay, silver red, which is yellow player, so she collects silvers. Okay, I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. I'm going to stash. And a yellow player. Okay, Nicole, I'd like to propose a deal with you. I have the gold clue, which you don't have. You have the diamond clue, which I don't have. I'd like to propose we trade the gold clue for the diamond clue. And remember, if Nicole accepts the deal, we have to use our Marauders cards to do this because it involves the clues. Gold clue for diamond clue?
Okay.
Okay, so she's in. Okay, so this is where it's risky. So just a reminder, if we both handshake, the deal happens just like we described it. Can I trust you? Okay, and if we backstab each other, then we might steal each other's clues. We have to place our cards in face down.
You're blue, so we have those 2 same clues.
And the problem here, right, is if you backstab people too much, especially too early, then people aren't going to be trading with you later in the game. It's going to make your progress pretty difficult. So I got nailed. So she backstabbed me, which means she gets the gold clue, and I don't get the diamond clue. So she just stole a clue from me. And yes, I am going to remember that. Okay. Wow. Okay, pass the dice. Okay, that's gold yellow, which is blue player, me.
I will take a key, please.
Okay, it's emerald red and gold red.
He's blew me up. All right. Let's see. I'll take a key. Does anybody have a red key for a blue key?
No.
Does anybody have a yellow key for a blue key?
No.
Okay. I will take any emeralds out there.
There are no emeralds.
All right, 3 silvers and an emerald, please.
Okay, so she traded 3 for 1.
Then I'd like to turn these 3 emeralds in for the emerald clue.
Wow, she just bought the emerald clue. Okay. And so now we're watching because Nicole now has 5 clues. It's entirely possible she knows where it is at this point. She may, if this is a dead-end clue, she may not need to get her last clue. 5 may be enough. So at this point, she may know where the clue is, which means she just now needs to move one of her scouts onto the X after she's completed her stash of 8 cards. And so we've also been listening, she just stashed again, to how many cards she's been stashing during the game. Okay, silver red is yellow player. Oh, I'm sorry, did I do the gold?
Here we go.
Sorry, she gets silvers, not golds. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I have a master key, the wooden key. Okay. Jordan, are there any particular jewels you need in exchange for one of these clues? I need, so you've got either of these clues. So in fact, the ruby clue. I'd like the ruby clue. I could give you some jewels.
Do you have emeralds?
I do.
How many?
I have 1 for offer. For offer. I have 1 for offer.
Maybe later.
That's a no?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Pass the dice.
Maybe we need more emeralds.
Gold red key is not open, and diamond red key is Jordan. Right. So right now I'm blue team. Right. I'm doing all I can to figure out how to open these other clues. We need to find a way to get emeralds, which I don't have any emeralds open. Rubies. I do have some rubies, and diamond.
Stashing. Dave, I will trade you a diamond for an emerald.
You'll give me a diamond
For an emerald.
for an emerald. I will give you the emerald for the ruby clue.
I cannot.
Okay. This is gold, or diamond red key, which is Jordan again, and silver red, which is yellow player, Nicole.
Okay, I'll take a key. And I will use this key to open this chest.
So she played a wooden key, which again is a master key and opens any chest on the board.
And I will play, let's see, 3 silvers. And I will take a diamond. Stash.
So again, we're listening for stash. You stashed 1 this turn, stashed 1 last turn. Okay, this is a gold red key, which is not open, and the other one's dead roll. I'm going to select a key, which I'm going to stash. Jordan, same deal. I'm always willing to offer an emerald for the ruby clue. No? Okay, I'll pass the dice. And while Jordan's rolling, I will show the players out there what I have in my stash so far. Of course, the other players wouldn't know, right? These would be concealed from them. But I've got to get 8 cards in my stash to complete it. So I'm also trying to work on filling my stash. Okay, and this is a diamond blue key, which is my chest, so I collect 2 diamonds. And silver blue, which is Jordan. He collected his 2 silvers.
Do you have any silver? Anyone have any silver?
Yes.
I will give you a yellow key.
You just want 1 silver?
Are you offering more?
No. I was just curious.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, Dave. I will comply
What are we doing?
because I do need an emerald
So I'm giving you an emerald
for.
For the ruby clue.
for the ruby clue.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you'll notice, by the way, you can trade your clues in for other cards. You don't have to trade clues for clues. So Jordan's offering me the ruby clue in exchange for an emerald,
But you still have to
which
pay.
I have. But because the trade involves a clue, we still have to use the Marauders cards to do it. Jordan,
Dave,
I was in quick. I'm ready to be friends.
are you?
We're gonna need. She's getting ahead of us.
She is.
We're gonna need to be friendly to each other.
That was quick play.
Would you like to reconsider yours?
Would you?
I'm fine. I'm in.
Okay.
I knew it. Okay, so we both backstabbed each other, which means no deal. The deal's off. And unfortunately, that's going to make it hard for us to trust each other going forward. And it's looking like we're probably going to need to team up against the
3
yellow players.
silvers, an emerald, 3 diamonds for an emerald.
Jordan, before you pass the dice,
Passed.
okay, I had another idea for you. Okay, this is emerald blue key, which is the yellow player. Okay, and silver blue key, which is red player, Jordan.
Okay, I'm going to take a key. I'm going to stash.
So Jordan, the red player, has 5
And
clues.
stash.
Yellow player has 5 clues, and the blue player, myself, has 3 clues.
I'm hearing a lot of stashing over there.
Yes. So let's pay attention to Nicole. Jordan, we're going to have to work together here.
I'm going to trade 5 cards in for a jewel.
Okay, so I mentioned earlier you can trade 3 of any one card in for other cards, so 3 rubies in for something. You can also trade 5 of any card in, which is what Nicole just did, for any other card. So she traded a couple keys and a jewel here, a jewel there, 5 of any card in for another card. And she just stashed again. So we've been getting a lot of stash from Nicole. So gold red's not open, and diamond red is Jordan. Jordan. First off, I'm going to get another key. Oops. And okay, Jordan. I will give you the emerald for 2 diamonds.
The emerald.
I will give you 1 emerald for 2 diamonds.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to trade 3 diamonds in and get the diamond clue. And I'm going to stash Okay, this is silver red, which is Nicole over here. And because it's double silvers, she'll collect 3 jewels. Okay, and then the wild chest, because it's doubles, also collects silvers, 3 silvers. And because it's doubles, everybody in the game, starting with the person who rolled it, collects a new resource card.
Okay.
And I'll mention too that you'll notice the silvers are gone. When they're gone, they're gone. So if another roll comes up as silver and there's no silvers left, that player's not going to collect. And of course, this will get replenished now as players trade back in their silvers for other things.
I'm going to trade in 3 silvers for an emerald. Stashing. I'm going to trade in, oh, not trade. There's 3 emeralds for the emerald clue. I'm going to,
Okay, so Jordan now has all 6 clues. So we know that Jordan knows where the X is at this point. So it's a matter of getting his scout to the right spot and making sure he has the 8 cards in his stash.
3.
And I wouldn't say this out loud in a normal game, but we also know which clue we need now because Jordan had 5 clues. He did not have the emerald clue, and he spent the time to get that clue, which means that's likely where the final clue is.
I'm going
That
to play a horse and move 1, 2 to the port.
Okay.
In a canoe.
So Jordan's playing a canoe here. He's using a horse and a canoe, and now the canoes, you can see there's these squares, these black squares all over the board. And the river system, these canoes allow you to navigate the rivers. So if you land on any of these black squares, you can play a canoe, and you can move to any other black square that's connected along one of these rivers. So Jordan moved from here to here.
3,
And he has more players
5,
left.
6.
And he just won the game.
No, let's see it.
Jordan, did he win the game? Okay.
Let's see it.
So Jordan's saying the artifact is buried here, and then he has his stash of 8 cards full.
Let's see the stash.
The stash would be 3 keys.
Okay, so you need to have 1 of each color key, a red, yellow, and a blue, which he has, and 1 of each jewel. And he has a...
Wait, let's check the clues and make sure he's in the
Okay,
right spot.
and what you can do at the end, at this point in the game, most players already know where the artifact is, but you can flip all the clues over and just verify that the player has indeed been on the right X. So in this case, it said it was buried in the grasslands, which our team knew, that it's buried near some water, which is this shape, which our team knew, and it's buried next to a turtle. So the only thing we didn't know is whether it was under, or in the cave or under this rock, which was this last clue that we were going for. And Jordan had that clue, moved his scout, and has won the game. Nice, Jordan.
Marauder winner. Yes.
So it's always fun, of course, at the end to show how close everybody else was. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of our cards in our stash. So we need 1 more key and a silver. And we had it narrowed down, as I said, to there. And I had a canoe, and we were going to start working our way with the canoe. But we were pretty close.
My stash was complete, and I was going to hopefully turn 3 silvers in for a green card, hoping to get a horse, which I wouldn't have gotten. But I would have backed out here, jumped over back to this port, and then tried to move my way onto the X. So I was fairly close.
Wow. So Nicole, you'll notice the yellow player also already knew where the artifact was. She didn't need to open this last clue because she knew it was a dead end. So she knew where it was, and her stash was full. So she was probably 1 or 2 turns away from winning as well. Nice, Jordan.
Thank you.
I'll tell for everybody, this was a long time coming for Jordan.
Yes.
Great game.